cold, lads. Cold, lads.
Wow, what a game! What a game! What a game! One that really tested Chelsea temperament in the big games. Chelsea had gone down in almost all of the big games normal, and I remember before the Liverpool game, before the Arsenal game, before the Manchester United game, one of the choruses that I constantly sang over here, and I said Chelsea and Shady here, no one loses our big games now. It is always going to look like Chelsea is comfortable winning the smaller matches, but they do big matches now. And of course, we all know that Tottenham have been very inconsistent this season, losing matches they are not supposed to lose and winning matches they are not supposed to win. Notable ASR match no more winning against Manchester City. So yes, it's a Tottenham team that has issues, but really, you know that there could possibly be problems also for Chelsea, because you can't just outright them, you can't just override them and say you walk onto the field of play and then run off them. It wasn't going to be possible. It was always going to be a difficult game. And I think that in game state, all of those things are panned out. Chelsea having loads of possession, what we said about the game. Okay, we don't even starting to say hi Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. It's obviously the post-match analysis. Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. All of the game, everything that went on in there. Hi Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. So I want to subscribe to the channel. And Michelle, subscribe to the channel and make sure so turn on notification. In the notification turning on, make sure so choose all. Send it consistently. Anytime there content dropping you are first to have it. I will say on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube, like we've always been saying, So what happened? Before Samachi, now stand for a dropping point. 1-1 away at Fulham. So definitely Chelsea going away also in London, getting results would have cemented what Chelsea wants to do in Europe, qualifying for Europe, which is the primary target for Enzo Maresca and Brandt. And then also when it comes to if maybe Chelsea are in the title fight or not in the title fight, it was always going to be important. It was important in terms of the game state. Chelsea went into this game with last starting lineup, pretty much analysis. No, I said this year Chelsea be used. It was a starting lineup of Moise Caicedo from right back, inverting into the middle of the park next to a branch friend Romeo Lavia. Senebaya, the 2-half space now will be occupied by Enzo Fernandez on the left half space, and a branch friend Cole Palmer on the right half space, which was very important. Again, in the lead up to match now, I did back one issue Palmer and said, worried said Chelsea echo match we will. How are Chelsea going to have issues when they have the ball? Because near him said Tottenham must before maybe they will not come with Kuti Romero and Mickey van der Ven. In fact, Tottenham must before starting lineup nearby. Not two centre backs in your fit and they started. And we're like, okay, well, I mean, how is it that two centre backs in your fit? But just when it came to the Chelsea match, they are now fit and they can go on and play. Now for the bigger problem for Chelsea, they said, a branch of Wesley Fofana New. They be a Makacho said, Adia Bakwa Emma Wesley Fofana, any Benobelach, any Levi Cole combination, perfect. And he said, those two centre backs, no, Baku a cat, Baku a dog. And that's Wesley Fofana. Fofana is the dog, the aggressor. Or when they be stepping in, why aggressive into Emma pressure baby and to a branch of friend Levi Cole also. But in this instance, he wasn't there. In this stance, a branch of friend Wesley Fofana wasn't there. Now Levi Cole and Kwawe Chono. And then Chelsea now had to bring in a bunch of friend Bernabe Lachille. I said it in the pre-match analysis, said because of the absence of Abrante Feno, Wesley Fofana, and Tottenham must be air press here. They would press with Abrante, they would press with a press trigger as Abrante Feno Bernabe Lachille. And you saw it consistently. The plan of Tottenham was simple. Set on the press trigger was one Robert Sanchez, and Abrante Feno Bernabe Lachille, and it was not helping in build-up. In fact, in the second half, in the first half, every time that Chelsea wanted for how to build up from the back, how to control the game, how to make sure that consistently they are in it and then dominate the ball. It was affecting them. The angles of a bunch of friend Benoit Belachile, because on your natural right-footed centre back or your left-footed, in this Okobon at RCB, you don't get the best out of him. And Enzo Maresca decided to go and take that risk of playing a Branty Feno, Benoit Belashiri as RCB. And in the first 11 minutes, Tottenham was nearly tore Chelsea apart from build-ups. Robert Sanchez, Marco Correa slipped twice and leading up to the goal. One from Dejan Kulusevski, one from Branty Feno, Brendan Johnson. And consistent, you could tell that Chelsea were in 6s and 7s. They were confused. How did they go into this game? How did they dominate the ball? How did they grow themselves into it? And around that time, I told myself, said, this is going to be a huge character test for Chelsea. Because here 2-0 down at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. A game where everybody expects you to win. And said Tottenham Hotspur are a little bit inconsistent. But the 2-0, the opening embers of the opening minutes of the game, how are you going to come up? How are you going to surmount the victory? How are you going to win? It was something huge in the conversation of Chelsea. How are Chelsea going to get those results when you're playing against a Tottenham Hotspur side? And throughout the game, just one time at Chelsea had a sustained spell of pressure. But for me, that 2-1 goal at Chelsea share editing company 2-1 was all of the job by Branty Feno, Enzo Fernandez. They're running behind house space occupied. They be a mechanic. Nientia Enzo Maresca doesn't play with the house space, and they said it creates openings, it creates chances, and then it leaves the wingers to 1v1 for them to use their numeric, their qualitative superiority, not the quantitative, the qualitative superiority of 1v1 ability. It is because of that house space run. Branty Enzo Fernandez and it'll be a chance to my Branty Fernando, Jadon Sancho to be able to get that 2-1. And in the second half, in the first half, not time to be one for say Chelsea better come. It was a sustained spell. Chelsea control match, Chelsea walk come. And one thing I kept on telling myself, and I said, me won it several times. Away at Liverpool, Chelsea, I consider first half when Timiante first half, no better in the second half. In the Liverpool, away at Manchester United, second half, Man United share, not Chelsea. At later on, now okay draw a fear against Arsenal. Arsenal can share first goal. Chelsea struggle. Now at in the 9 numbers of the game. So I was telling myself, say, if Chelsea can really get a equalizer and make it 2-2 before halftime, I am very confident that Chelsea will go into the game and come into the second half whilst they do what. So about a week or so ago, may the contents be to us here. It was Chelsea's performances at halftime. And even journalists come up beside Enzo Maresca say, Eban is saying that on only teams now almost every time. So almost bought in the English Premier League. So almost we halftime, but performances near solid. They perform very well at halftime. And the number of points Chelsea have had in the first 15 minutes of the halftime has been good. And Chelsea went into the recess. When they came, Enzo Maresca did one thing to try and sort out the problem of Chelsea build up nowhere children. Because Moise Caicedo was coming inside. Now Branty Feno, Benoit Belashiri was receiving the ball as the RCB. Then Levi Cole will be the CCB. Then you have Marco Correa as the LCB to open up. Correa side wasn't a problem. But when you have Belashiri open, not only funny aggressive, no more pressing. And again, no more pressing Branty Feno, Robert Sanchez. The substitution, I don't know, said Javier Praya, but in that one, I don't think it's Javier Ebe Prasa. But the substitution of throwing on a Branty Feno, Romeo Lavia, to solve the problem of build-up in the right-hand channel, or building with a Branty Feno, Malo Gusto in a back three. Until Shaya, Malo Gusto now became part of the back three. Gusto wasn't inverting. Now Moise Caicedo can now go into the middle of the pack next to Branty Feno, Enzo Fernandez. And because we've seen, say in recent times, Branty Feno, Enzo Fernandez, the Juma and that's in the job off the ball has been good in team. It didn't really affect the team. So Moise Caicedo went in there as a DM. And Branty Feno, Malo Gusto was now playing as part of the 3 center backs in build-up. So again, at that point in time, Chelsea now had Branty, your friend Benoit Belashiri on the left-hand side. In the second half, Chelsea changing 3 things that Enzo Maresca changed that made them beat Tottenham Hotspur. Changing first one, the plan to play out and bring Malo Gusto in. 2, so Malo Gusto ba on inverted. You best switch it. Benoit Belashiri at LCB. Now because Benoit Bebo at LCB, Chelsea now inverted Marco Correa into the left half space, but being Enzo Fernandez able the first half, then he was able to push Enzo as the double pivot next to Moise Caicedo. So now it is more comfortable for Belashiri to go there from the back because it's in his own angles. He's a left-footed player. Now for Malo Gusto also saying in the right side of the pitch, he's able to receive the ball there, he's able to play out from there. And then again, in the middle of the park, there's Enzo. And of course, because in the last few weeks, Enzo's physicality and combativeness he has been building, it was a game that was there for him to take. In the second half, Chelsea ultimately dominated the game with sustaining of pressure, pressing and counter pressing, building up from the back wasn't really an issue again. I did back I think that next summer, and almost every time at Chelsea about games, be out teams air pressure very aggressive with a lot of men forward now. You constantly look at it and say, I deal with Chelsea and sometimes a deal in terms of build up. The unavailability of a big bulky center forward up top that can hold up the play. It is Washa at Manchester City, it teams press them aggressively. Ederson can go long, Stefan Ortega can go long because there's a certain Erling Haaland over there that Erling Haaland that can hold up to the ball. When you do that at Chelsea, you have to go along to the wide areas if Pedro Neto doesn't control the ball of Jadon Sancho. And these guys are not very physical. But say Chelsea it's a physical center forward. Yati Evan Ferguson, yati Liam Delap, yati Samuel Maradion, yati Victor Osimhen. If these guys are in the team, these are hold-up players. Yeah, our other outlets when teams want to pressure aggressively, just go along to them. They hold up play because you have two players in the right hand space, one in the right left hand space now. They are able to win the second ball, able to pick it up and then transit and then create chances. Then you can sustain pressure in them. Then you don't always have to build up from the back because essentially you can't use just one way in build up in games. You'll be messed up. So those changes that Enzo Maresca did was excellent. And I've said several times here, one of the things that sets Enzo Maresca apart is essentially the fact that almost every time he is able to do his in-game management better. It's match and question. Send your manage match. What do we have to change? Ball channels being they say about which player do we have to take off, and he makes the changes quicker. And also in the second half, Chelsea sustained pressure very well. They did it very well, and it was one time Tottenham was home bar matching a transition in that left side hand channel. Chelsea had that ball. Then a ball into the part of Abrante friend Moses Caicedo by Jadon Sancho. Again, another half space run. And Abrante friend used Bissouma was overzealous, overcommitted, and Moses Caicedo excellently. Onyadin and I were born on super. Then he fell down. Once he felt the contact, then Chelsea had a penalty. For the very first time, I sat behind my TV and I was scared that Kopama may miss that penalty. I don't know. I just felt that it may be the first time Kopama may miss a penalty. So can he miss it? What is going to happen? And Chelsea goes into that game, Kopama 10 out of 10 and makes history essentially because for the very first time since Yaya Toure, no player in the history of the English Premier League consistently and I said those number of penalties over there for Abrante friend Kopama. And for me, I was excited said Chelsea could get that. I was excited said Chelsea really can impose themselves onto the game like that, can really dominate themselves, can really make sure say almost right game. Now it was at 2-2. What were Chelsea going to do? Again, now Chelsea could comfortably build up. If they calm down and some build up from the back, Tottenham Hotspur now, no more press number, but yet a little bit less aggressive, more compact into central areas. Then Chelsea, it meant that Chelsea have to be patient. Now, the problem in the first half had changed from the fact that they were pressing aggressive, so you don't even have time to think. This time, Tottenham were not too aggressive, but it was more zonal, but then more compact in the middle of the pack. Very, very compact. So you have to be patient to find the passing options. You have to be patient to find a free man. And that's what Chelsea did. Inside, Cole Palmer ball, a core wide area. And again, that is all about your friend Cole Palmer. Dribbling, turning left side, right, inside. And then, of course, Sabo on the take care Rikishi, and finding about your friend Enzo Fernandez. What a time. What a time it's been for Enzo Fernandez. I think that he has been brilliant for Chelsea for the better part of this year. Everything Enzo Fernandez had, the total control of games, how well he has played on the ball, off the ball, the physicality, especially in the last few games, and adding goals and assists to it. You can really tell. In fact, he nearly took off his shirt. And okay, so with the yellow card, then he stopped it. But then, what a ball from Abrante and Enzo Fernandez, making it 3-2 at that point in time at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And it means that at that time, Chelsea are turning it around. They are turning it around because now everything seems to be going on well. They are controlling possession. They are playing well. They are dictating the pace of the game. They are imposing themselves into the match very well. And at that point in time, Chelsea felt, okay, now we can go on. We can push for more. Let's meditate more of those things than you hear matching. And that's exactly what they did. Until later on, Enzo Maresca can make changes. Or they in Kukwebem, or Nicolas Jackson, and then, of course, Abrante friend Cole Palmer. Another penalty over there. Then Cole Palmer making it 4-2 for Chelsea. It was a hugely important game. Again, that was based on a lot of things. So actually, the rating of the various sports apps now, all of them have not rated Abrante Jeffredon what's his name? Abante friend Jax Sanchez enough because of the mistakes so he had the opening. I think that this game really tells Chelsea there are two things they need to do in the summer. The first thing is about buying a bulky center for that can be an outlet, and then two, a goalkeeper that is so comfortable even under pressure, because you could tell say under pressure. Yes, Robert Sanchez does a lot of good things. He helps the team standing man. But under pressure, sometimes he breaks, he flatters the receiver on him, and these are things that doesn't help him at all. Of course, once Noni Madueke came over when Chelsea now could control the game, Renato Vega being, João Felix also came on to come and really pass time away anymore. You could tell that Chelsea were growing into it, were more dominant at that point in time. It was just about managing of the game. I mean, that game time, baby, I don't know. Chelsea just had to manage it. They just had to calm down, especially at 90+5 World Corner, because they knew that they had gotten it. And in the grand scheme of things, it means that Chelsea are going to go 2 points clear of Arsenal. Our English Premier League table also. Arsenal able draw keke. So it means that Chelsea will go ahead of them with 2 big points over them. Chelsea's successive games now. This week there's going to be Europe. And next week there are games that are coming in. And I can't say from now till January and March, it will separate the boys from the men. And Chelsea need say, oh, they ain't team in J-League make cramp now. In terms of qualifying for the Champions League next season, yet move BMO around this time. The work becomes easier for us. We don't put too much pressure on ourselves. It doesn't become too difficult for us. And then we go on dominating the match, dominating the game. And at the end of the day, we do play well. And that's something that Chelsea needs to be doing, because social English Premier League table also clear. You need consistency. Games are come for Chelsea to play. Our English Premier League, you can tell them these are matches that are going to be, tough for both sides, both teams. You can tell them these are going to be games that are tough for both teams. At the time match in Edu, the 90+6 minutes, here at 90+7 minutes now. A lot of big chances over there. Tottenham still wanted to try and pull the game back, but it was really about just game management. How can Chelsea manage the game? How can Chelsea make sure that the game doesn't really slip up? And of course, the Baba 4-3, few minutes to go. How are Chelsea going to take 3 points away? And it was another test of Chelsea's character. A lot of goals at that point in time. Chelsea messed up a little bit. But I think that all true was a good game for Chelsea Football Club. And then, of course, huge 3 points for them. Takes them 2 points ahead of Arsenal. Hi, Fiifi-Manfred. Take care. Bye-bye.